GM, and welcome everybody to this virtual space to talk about PepesDog. My name is Alberto Toribio, and if you don't know me, I'm the developer after most of the things we are creating these days on PepesDog. I'm not the only one working here in creating new experiences, applications, games, and for sure arts and memes. We have also persons like Groko, for example, and many others from the community, very engaged and working for you guys, for the community. So today, let me talk a bit about what we are building, what we are cooking. And I'm doing this VC because many people ask me about to explain how the new liquidity tool we have created works. So before of moving on, let me talk you a bit about Zeus, just in case you are new here. Zeus is Pepe's dog. Zeus is a character inspired on the Mad Fury ecosystem as the Pepe's dog. It was created back in 2025 as a gift from an artist called Andy House to Jaggedsoft, the creator of the Binance API. Very soon, Zeus was recognized as part of the lore of Mad Fury, and it was included in several websites and communities and accepted as the Pepes dog. The rest is story. Pepes Dogs was created by an independent team, but now it is a fully community takeover project. We started this community takeover process back in October 2025, and it has been a long time until here. We did a lot of things. We basically got all the community together, and now we are building a strong foundation to scale and to basically move on this new stage. So let me tell you how we got here and what we are doing. The community takeover process started in October 2025. I was leading that process and we deployed a DAO, independent DAO in Tally, that allowed us to vote our constitution. That constitution was really important because it defined what we wanted to do from that moment on. After that, the first tool we created was an ENS tool to identify who are the whales on this project. After identify the whales on this project, we got all of them together into a specific and private channel to inform them, to get them closer as possible. And we did it basically by letting them buy an ENS name. If you go here to utilities and you click on ENS, you can register your own name for free if it has more than 10 characters, but if you want something more special, you need to pay. Many people decided to pay, and now, thanks to this project, we have identified the whales. If you go here to the holders section, you'll see that that people is identified on our leaderboard. So you see how much CUs they have, for how long they hold, and their commitment on the project. This was the foundation. This was the beginning of everything. Demonstrate that this new process was transparent and we were basically surrounded of people with experience in the sector, with resources, and with a specific vision. We kept building, right? And in Christmas, we created more utilities. The next utility we released, it is called Good Boy. And Good Boy was an interesting and major milestone. We ported, we deployed our token into a different network, in this case, Base, and we did it through Wormhole. So there is only one token, the one that exists in Ethereum. Every PepesDog Zeus token that exists on Base is a representation of a Zeus token locked on Ethereum. Thanks to this tool, Wormhole, we were able to migrate our token to Base. And there is where we started building experiences for our coin. The first experience was letting the people tip to others on Twitter for free. So we were able and we are able to send tips to everybody just by sending a tweet. It doesn't matter if the person who received the tip has a wallet or not. It doesn't matter if that person knows what Zeus is or not. You can send Zeus to Elon Musk, to whoever. They use their Twitter account to log in here, and they can claim what you tipped to them. But the most funny part is they don't need to withdraw. They can tip again this use to someone else. The act of tipping is something that is free. It's for free because we pay for the gas. And we can do these things, these developments, paying for the gas, investing in some things, because there are people on this community, fully organized, fully organic, that basically pay the bill. We support the project for the long term because our vision in the long term is not getting profit, is not making profit by selling. Our long term vision is providing liquidity to this project and get passive income by building now our bags and use them in the future to generate wealth. Reinvesting part of that wealth on creating new experience and maintaining strong and alive this amazing community. So we are very early, we are just at the beginning, and this is not the end of our story. We built a lot of things, including this amazing website, by the way, you can check, where we explain all about the community takeover process, where we explain what our vision, and where you can check the tokenomics of Zeus. Zeus is a fair launch project, which means that it has some interesting properties. There is no team behind the project, so there is no one looking to cash out, looking to make money by selling what they reserved for the team, for the company, for whoever. There is no one here. The team disappeared, and the project is now fully governed by the community. And there are people like me putting their own money not only on buying the coin, as on building things and paying the bills for AI, for many things we do here. If you go to this section, you can check the tokenomics that we have. First of all, the first thing you need to understand is Zeus is a fair launch project because the person who launched Zeus invested ETH to lock that ETH along with Zeus in a liquidity position in Uniswap. So to create, for creating Zeus at the very beginning, someone invested his own money and he lost that money forever. This is what we call the renounced liquidity. It is liquidity that is going to be there for you, for everybody, forever. So if you want to sell, it doesn't matter if we all basically sold all our coins. The liquidity, the renounced liquidity, will be there forever for you. This is very important. Zeus is not the only one coin created in this way, and we think that the coins created in this way are the coins that are going to overperform in the future, especially in the meme coin space. Another interesting thing is the contract is locked and renounced. Its ownership is renounced forever. So it means that no one can change anything on the contract. Everything is fixed, just like in Bitcoin. Well, in Bitcoin, we can change things, right? By consensus. Here, we don't have even that opportunity. The contract is locked and frozen forever. You can check these things by clicking into the cards. So you can go to the transaction where this has happened. And if you don't know what's going in there, no worries, because we are in the AI era. So ask to ChatGPT. Don't trust, please verify. The taxes are set to 0%. It means that unless that what's happening with many other coins, on Zeus, every time you swap on Uniswap, there are no taxes by the token. Uniswap charge you the fee that Uniswap has, but none of these fees are related with us. We don't take any fees at all. And fixed supply. Zeus has a fixed supply. They created 420 trillion of Zeus, and that's all. There will not exist more Zeus ever. And the most interesting thing is we are burning Zeus every day. How this is possible if there is no one behind the project? From where this Zeus that is burned comes from? Well, remember that Zeus has a liquidity position in Uniswap. This is what we call the renounce liquidity, right? It's a regular liquidity position on Uniswap version 2. The point with the liquidity positions is these liquidity positions accrue value. They capture fees because when you provide liquidity, you get fees every time someone buys or sells on the pool. But since the ownership of this liquidity position is renounced, it belongs to no one. No one will be able to collect the fees. So the fees are being accrued and they are going to be there forever, increasing and increasing the number of CUs out of circulation. So now that number is 2.87% of the total supply. But 3 weeks ago, and you can check this on chain, it was 2.84. So it is increasing every day, even at a low volume. Every time someone sells, burns a bit of Zeus because of this liquidity position. So it's interesting because on meme coins, we usually don't have very sophisticated tokenomics, but we have the things that really matters, right? So Zeus has a very simple tokenomics that everybody can understand, but we have the things that really matters. We have renounced liquidity, we have Zeus being burned every day with every single swap, we have fixed supply, and the contract and the number of tokens out there are fixed, frozen forever. So the game is settled. Now it's about the people. It's about how far this community can go by building on top of this amazing foundation. Zeus is not a regular community. Zeus has a live, active, engaged, and involved artist. Andy House is our artist. She was the creator of Zeus. As you can see, drawing a painting is not the only thing that she can do, and she did. She created a lot of things. Statues, she created different kind of formats and arts, 3D models of Zeus, and she has created a full collection of NFTs that you can check on OpenSea. So we have the artist working with us, basically working to maintain the spirit and the original source of Zeus. We have the community and we have a new foundation of people really engaged with enough engagement to put their own money, not only to buy the token and make money with that, as to lose money by investing in things that don't produce a return in a short term. So I'm really excited to be part of this community. I'm really excited of seeing how the Zeus story evolves. In September this last year, Andy House created this amazing comic, fully aligned with the Mad Fury universe, that explain not only the origin of Zeus, that provide us some context about this amazing character, where we are, and what we are going to talk about in the session of today. After this introduction, let me tell you where we are and where we are going. Zeus is not a regular meme coin. We believe on utility to provide value to the community. So back in January 2026, what we did is starting on the using of AI. The AI is changing the full picture, not only in the memes, but in the regular jobs. What we see is how the AI is capable of taking more and more jobs. And if you go to the news, you'll probably see people like Jack Dorsey, like Atlassian, like Microsoft, like many people, many companies, basically getting fired people, replacing these people by AI agents. I know this very well because I work in an exchange and I see how AI provides us the opportunity to be 10x efficient. I have a technical profile, but I used to delegate the task I needed to do, building an application, building an exchange, building liquidity tools on a team. And I always needed a team until now. Now I am able to build things by myself without relying on anyone, just by using AI. And this has changed everything for me and for the companies. The companies have started firing people, as I said. And if you check um, reports like this one, for example, you'll see that this is going to get worse by the end of 2027. The things that the AI is capable to do today is less than what it is going to be able to do tomorrow. So where we are going and what's the role of meme coins here? I think that the narrative of what Murad, for example, draws is something to consider. But let's go further. What it means for meme coin communities. It means that in a world where creating software has a near to zero value, in a world where everyone can create applications, you don't need a developer anymore. Creating open innovation strategies is now very different. An open innovation strategy is a strategy that allows you as a company relay in your community to grow. This is what, for example, led Microsoft and others to basically be the leaders of their industries. They created an amazing product. They created APIs around it. APIs are basically technological components that allows the people to build application that connects things with the product of Microsoft. And to create an open innovation strategy, the most difficult part is having developers. So to have developers, you need to invest in hackathons, like for example, ETH Global. You need to invest on having people to connect with the culture of the technical people. And this is very difficult. But today, you can execute an open innovation strategy without having developers around your brand. Because the only thing you need are basically people in love with what you do. And do you know where could you find people in love with something? Correct, in the meme coin ecosystems. Here we have a lot of people crazy in love with this character, with Zeus. We all love Andy House. We all love what she does. We all love Zeus and its character. So having people in love with this community is all we need to build. And when we have an ecosystem like that, the only thing you need to do is enable the people to create. At the very beginning, the people started to collaborate or to produce value for the meme communities by creating memes using ChatGPT. This was something, okay, not enough or not very powerful, and very soon they flooded Twitter with images, and now this is not a value anymore. But now we can put in the hands of the people AI agents so they can build anything they can imagine. We did this in Zeus. We created an AI agent that allows the people building things. It's as simple as entering in our Telegram chat and talk with our bot that is working 24 hours, 7 days per week. You can interact with it and it is going to deploy whatever you want to create in its own domain. When we did this, the people started to create amazing things. People who never created code before, people who were car drivers, people who never coded before, and they created 3D games, games like, for example, Roblox, uh, metaverses in 3D with games with my voice. They created amazing things, and this was the proof that the meme coin space is going to get benefit from this AI wave. In fact, is the industry, is the vertical in crypto, in my opinion, which is going to be more benefit from the AI. Because now, as I said, the bottleneck is not on having developers. The bottleneck is on having ideas and having engaged people. And protocols and regular projects in crypto are not going to be as benefit as the meme coins communities. So following this idea, we started creating tools by ourselves, right? And today I want to talk about one of these tools. This tool, it is called earn.pepes.dog, and it allows you to provide liquidity. Let me explain you what liquidity is, why it is important, and how with this strategy and this tool, we were able to build an app-only chart for Zeus. Probably you have noticed that in the last 7 days, Zeus is only app. In the meanwhile, the rest of the coins in our category, Pepe, I don't know, all of them are going down. So why Andy, Pepe, and the rest of the coins are down and we are up? Because of this, I'm going to tell you. This is a tool that allows you to open liquidity positions in Uniswap version 4. Okay, step by step. Uniswap is a liquidity providing tool. It allows you to connect two kinds of people: the people who want to buy and the people who want to sell. Every time you go to Uniswap and you buy Zeus, you can do it because there is someone in the back providing liquidity. What providing liquidity is? Uniswap usually has two different bugs for every order book. An order book is, for example, the ETH/Zeus order book. It means that it is a place where you can go and put ETH to buy Zeus in exchange. So you pay with ETH and you receive Zeus. On this order book, there are two bugs. On the first bug, we have ETH, and on the second bug, you have Zeus. As a liquidity provider, you are the one who is in the back providing liquidity to make possible this magic, letting the people go into Uniswap and buying Zeus in exchange with ETH. To do this, you need to fill these two bugs. You need to put ETH and you need to put at the same time Zeus, both of them. Why? Because if there is someone that wants to sell Zeus, that person is going to let his Zeus, his ETH. No, sorry, he wants to sell Zeus, right? So that person is going to put their Zeus on the back of the Zeus, and he's going to take ETH from the back of the ETH. So you need to put both to let the people buy and sell. By doing that, you get exposure to Zeus and ETH, both of them, okay? But the most important part is you are charging a fee to every person who buys or sells. So if someone buys or someone sells a part of taking Zeus or letting Zeus in the bag that corresponds, they are paying an additional fee that is going to be for you. That fee, it is usually 0.3%, but there are different models where you can earn more or less, okay? Even 1%. So this is the business of liquidity providing. Is it is profitable? Well, take a look by yourself. This guy, for example, made 6 million on fees, 6 millions of US dollars in fees at the current value of Zeus. And this guy was providing liquidity in the beginning of the launching of Zeus. So probably he made 50 million of US dollars in fees. So yeah, providing liquidity is a very profitable business. And this is what I want to be my business in the future. This is why I want to bet on this project for the long term. I want to get a big bag of Zeus and provide liquidity here to get passive income, reinvest part of these earnings on the community, and create new experiences to make the community go farther. So yeah, liquidity providing is an interesting business. How we can do that? To provide liquidity, you need to define on Uniswap version 4, on version 3, you need to define a specific range. What a range is? The price is currently 1.51, right? Million. So, well, this is not the price, it's the market cap, right? We created this tool because if you go to Uniswap, you can provide liquidity as well. This tool we built is just a wrapper, a UI on Uniswap. But if you come here, Uniswap doesn't allow you to do it easily because you need to define basically the range based on price. And the price of Zeus is as small. We have 9 decimals. So it means that the rest of the numbers, the rest of the positions in the number are basically the whole part. So it is impossible to do this from Uniswap. So we created this tool to make you possible doing it. Okay, a part of let you see how many of others are providing liquidity here and in which ranges, so you can join to their range. Okay, so this is the current price. You need to define a range where to provide liquidity. If that range is below the current price, you'll only need ETH to open this position. If that range is over the current price, you'll only need Zeus to open that position. And what happens if your range is in range? It means that it starts below the current price, but it finishes upper the current price. In that case, you are in range. So you'll need both Zeus and ETH. Why? Again, let me explain you. This video is recorded, so you can come back here to listen this as many times as you need. Let's understand how liquidity providing works. When you are in range, what means that you are producing fees. You are the one who is behind the shop, basically putting your bags to let the people buy and sell. And what happens if in a range of 1 million to 2 million of market cap and being Zeus at the middle in 1.5 million? What happens if the price goes up and it ends up on 50 million? You were providing liquidity between 1 and 2 million, right? What happens if the price goes out of your range by the top part? Well, in that case, you'll end your liquidity providing activity having all your portfolio in ETH. So as the price goes up, what you are doing really is selling the Zeus you put it here. Remember, two bags. In one bag, ETH, in one bag, Zeus. Okay? But as the price goes up, what means is the people is taking Zeus from the bag of the Zeus, and they are letting ETH in the bag of the ETH, right? So you end up by having zero Zeus and all the ETH. This happens if the price goes up. What happens in the opposite scenario, right? In the opposite scenario, we have the opposite thing. The people basically sells, so they are going to leave their Zeus on the Zeus bag, and they are going to take ETH from the ETH bag, right? So you'll end up by having zero ETH and all your holdings in Zeus, okay? This is not a problem if you want to accumulate in the long term. And in fact, if you think about it, what you are doing if the price goes down and you have a liquidity position open is you are doing DCA on buying. The same if the price goes up, you are doing DCA but to sell on selling, right? So this is how it works. And now the most interesting part. By providing liquidity, you earn money. For example, I was doing this with 3K US dollars and I made 48 US dollars in fees. I was doing this for a week or something like that, and I generated this amount of money. And most of the time I was out of the range. Being out of the range means that your position is not active. The price is below or on top of your liquidity range, but outside of it, okay? So you are not generating fees. To generate fees, you need to be on range, okay? But most of us, the whales behind the Zeus project, we are not using this tool to generate fees as to defend the price. And this is the secret behind all these days of an app-only chart in Zeus. This works. We have discovered that this works, and we are double down on this strategy by putting a significant amount of money on it. How does this work and what I invite you to do? Note that on this chart, you can see the people providing liquidity. For example, you can see that there is like an overlay here in yellow in this chart. Well, this is because there is a position here. If you put your mouse on top of that, you'll see that that position has a liquidity of $121. Can you see this here? And the range is 650K to 1.88 million. Someone put it here $100 on this range. So since the position is in range, it means that it is from 60K to almost 2 million and the price is 1.5 million. It is in range. Every time someone's buy or sell, it is producing fees for this guy. Okay, he put it a low amount of money, so I don't know how much money he's basically making with this, but he's making money. Okay, in our case, we do something different. This is my position. Not only my position, there are two positions here, I think. Okay, this position is below the current price. And we concentrate the liquidity as much as possible. We define very tight range, basically below the current price. Why we do that? Because if the price touch this liquidity position, we are going to absorb the selling pressure. So it is more difficult for the price going down from this point. So this is how we hold the price and help this movement basically to keep going up. How you can help on this? Because if you already invested in Zeus, providing liquidity and joining us on this activity is the most profitable thing you can do. More than generating fees by providing liquidity, more than anything else. Because by doing this, you are helping the price going up, and therefore the rest of your portfolio, the rest of your investment in Zeus is going to get a higher value. So to do this, you can basically provide liquidity in a tight range below the current price. Let's say, for example, we have 1.51 million, right? So I could go here and put 1. You can see the price here, 1.50 and 1.51. Okay? Okay. You'll know that the price is below the current price because the only thing it asked you to put here is if. If I put here 52, for example, or 54, or 2 million, yeah, it is going to ask me for both Zeus and ETH. Why? Remember how this works. If you are in range, you need the 2 bags. If you are below the current price, you need only ETH, and if you are upper the current price, you need only Zeus. Okay? As soon as the price starts to enter into your position, you'll be selling Zeus in exchange for ETH, so you'll start having 2 bags, right? The only difference is since you are up of the current price, the ETH bag you have is basically worth 0, or you don't need to have anything there, right? But you'll start having ETH on that bag as soon as the price goes up. So let's come back to defend the price. So we need to define a range below the current price. So for example, this range. You'll know that you are doing it right because it asks you only to put ETH. And you can put, for example, $29 or whatever. For example, let's put $0.1, okay, to make this test. And I can click here on add liquidity. Let me tell you something. Let me show you something. We created this chart to allow you to identify where are liquidity positions, and I encourage you to join to existing liquidity positions. You can put whatever range you want as it is staked. I mean, very concentrated as much as possible. Not get, you don't need to get crazy with this, but as tight as possible is better, right? Because you produce a higher impact on the price. When you concentrate the liquidity, it is more difficult for the price basically go through that liquidity wall as much concentrated it is, right? So I invite you, instead of define your own range, coming here, find this blue line, right, which is an active liquidity wall, liquidity position. Click on it, and the form is fulfilled for you. So you can put liquidity there. I'm going to add $1 there to show you how it works. So I click on add liquidity. Let me check what's happening. It is connected. Yes. Well, first of all, you need to connect your wallet. Okay. You need to come here, click on the liquidity position, or put your own range. Add the liquidity. This is what you'll see. Okay. You can click on sign, in my case with Ledger. And that's all. Okay. What you are doing is, remember, interacting with Uniswap. You are not putting money on a protocol we have created that it is or not audited or whatever. What you are doing is interacting directly with Uniswap. And in fact, to make sure that this is what you are doing, you can for sure check it on chain. But if you go to Uniswap and you go here to your portfolio, you should see here the position, which is represented in a form of an NFT. Again, this is not an NFT we have created, is how Uniswap, let me check, pull your positions. No, here, okay. I have 2 positions, right? What, both out of range, you see? Because the price is higher than the range I defined. I'm below, I'm defending the price. I'm waiting for the price going down. So when it touch the liquidity wall, it rebounds, okay? So I have 2 active range, out of range, both of them. And if you click here, you can see your position. So basically, this is a tool to allow you to define range in a more easily way, picking market cap ranges instead of using the price, because on Uniswap it is impossible. Okay. So here, if you go to here, you can see your positions. Okay. And if you click here, or you put here your address, you see all your positions. Okay. Now, let me explain you how to withdraw your positions or remove your positions. You can do it, by the way, you can collect the fees. If you generated fees, these fees are going to be here. And you can generate or collect the fees basically by clicking here on there is a new button that appears when there are fees. You don't see this here because there are no generated fees on these 2 positions, but there is a button that says collect fees. You can do it from Uniswap again as well, ¿vale? But you can add more liquidity, withdraw partial. Withdraw partial is closing partially this position, or close the position. And now, again, you can sign that operation, and that's all. Okay, why this is game changer for SEOs? If we all coordinate on defending the price, if we all understand how the liquidity providing works, how we can use this to push the price higher, this is a game changer, because meme coin communities usually don't participate on these games. Usually they don't know how to make money as selling. And believe me, we are not here for selling, because selling is the less profitable thing you can do with a meme coin in general, not only with SEOs, with any meme coin. Providing liquidity is very interesting for generating a yield in the long term and defending the price in the short term. Defending the price is basically what allows you to increase the value of your portfolio. Instead of buy more SEOs, please don't do that. Put that liquidity on a liquidity wall below the current price. And if the price goes through that liquidity wall, the worst case scenario is you have bought SEOs. You have bought SEOs because the price is now lower than your liquidity position. So if you remember the explanation, your portfolio, these 2 bags are going to be composed in all in SEOs, 0 in ETH. So you bought the dip. That's fine. Withdraw your position and keep the SEOs. That's fine. But by doing that, you are reducing the speed of how the price goes down, and this is good. We will basically recede lower than the rest of the coins of our category. And if more and more people do that to accumulate, this is buy the dip, guys, in all the sense, but without fees. You are not paying fees on Uniswap. You are collecting fees, in fact, without slippage, any slippage at all, and you are working for your bags because you are helping to the rest of your portfolio to have more value. And if you do this, you are helping to create a very healthy price chart, because you'll see, as we saw in the last days, the price going higher and higher, and this gets more people and more people buy, and we defend the price and the price go higher, and this is a virtuous cycle. So please, understand this tool. Please invest the proper time on putting liquidity here, and see you in the trenches, because this is how we defend the price, and this is how we push the price higher. And now, one more thing. This is an interesting tool, not only for our coin, as for the whole meme coin community in general. And we have a special connection with the rest of the projects of the Matt Murray ecosystem. So we are creating a game where you'll participate in a role game with a story, with a video, and a story being told every day, where you are going to provide liquidity. So we are turning this, not liquidity providing, no, defending the price. So the way in which we provide liquidity to defend the price by opening this tight range below the current price, we're going to turn this, we are turning this into a game for the whole Mad Fury ecosystem, not only to defend the price of Zeus, but also to defend the price of Andy, but also to defend the price of Brett, of every member of the boys club. This is going to be huge. This is going to be exciting and amazing, because we will connect more with projects in our same mood, in the same universe, and this project is going to be called furyverse.fan. This is the domain we bought. It is not active yet, but it will be very soon. We are working with a team of designers, and we are working with people to build this amazing game. I think it is going to be game changer, not only for Zeus, as for the whole ecosystem. If we start defending the price, this is a new mechanic and dynamic that puts the Mad Fury coins on this protocol, on this tool, basically, in a very advantageous position in comparison with other meme coins, where there are people just trading, buying, selling, and acting in a player versus player behavior. We are here working all together in a player versus environment mode, not only because we engage with Zeus, as because we engage with the rest of the Mad Fury ecosystem. We work together for our backs. We understand the long-term game. We understand that we are not here to buy and then sell. We understand that we are here to make money with the liquidity providing. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to those who are part of the Zeus community. See you on the trenches. We are here to stay. Bye bye.